From Hawaii News Now, this is a breaking news special report.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you breaking news. The Honolulu Fire Department now tells us 3 people have died in a helicopter crash in Kailua. This is along Oneava Street on the Kalaheo High School end of the road. The FAA says it was a 4-seat Robinson R-44 helicopter. We have confirmed that it was operated by Novictor Helicopters. It crashed around 9 a.m. Officials believe only 3 people were on board. The FAA and NTSB are investigating. First responders are on the scene right now. Let's talk right now with Adrian Kozuki, who witnessed the crash. And Adrian, we know that you shot some of the footage that we have. But before we get to that, where are you right now? And from your vantage point, what can you see and hear?
I live about halfway up Kalama Street, about maybe 1-2 blocks away from where the chopper crashed. And I was in my backyard washing my rods and reels because I just came back from fishing. And I heard the helicopter in the air. And all of a sudden I heard a pop, like a blast kind of thing. So I looked up, and it looked, I don't know if it fell apart, because I saw parts flying around, but all I saw was a little bit smoke, and the chopper just fell down. And within 15 seconds, I could see smoke coming up.
Wow. We know that there were 3 people on that helicopter. At least that's what we were told by authorities. Does it seem like anyone on the ground may have been hurt at all?
I don't think anybody on the ground was hurt, but I saw a body on the street. Oh. I saw one on the grass area. You can see him covered with the white tarp, white whatever. But I couldn't tell if there was 3. Somebody told me there was 1 person in the chopper, but I really don't know. But I know there was 3.
Yeah. Can you describe the scene and the chaos that ensued by any means, and how quick did emergency responders get there?
Well, as soon as I saw it falling down, I kind of ran down the street, and I could see the person in a black tank top shooting water on it. And I saw the, I don't know, electrical lines or cable company line, telephone lines on the ground. And the smoke was just coming out of the down chopper. And the emergency people came fairly fast, and there was like 5 fire trucks and I don't know 2-3 ambulances and scores of policemen. It's kind of blocked off right now, so I really couldn't see anything else.
Yeah. All right, we just showed you a live look a little while ago. Adrian Kozuki, thank you for your time this morning and being our eyes and ears out there. Yeah. Unfortunately, we do know that 3 people have died. We have not been informed of any other injuries. We'll stay on top of this. In fact, we have a crew at the scene. We're going to get there in just a second. But before we do that, we want to give you some perspective as to where exactly this is and how this crash is impacting everything that's going on there. So let's check in with Lacey Denise.
Steve, the crash happened right along Oneava Street near Kalama. This is right across or near the Kailua Racket Club. And police have since completely shut down Oneava from the start at Mokapu Boulevard all the way down to Ku'ulei Road. So drivers will not be able to access Oneava at any point. And they are asking drivers to use your alternate routes, whether it be Kalaheo Avenue or below that Kapa'akori Road. You're just going to want to avoid Oneava. Again, it is completely shut down from the beginning at Mokapu Boulevard and all the way through. So if you're trying to head into Kailua town, use your alternate routes, whether it's Kalaheo Avenue or Kapa'akori Road. Let's send it back over to Steve.
All right, just for reference point, in October, another Novictor Robinson R-44 chopper crashed just off the Kaneohe sandbar. A couple visiting from Chicago was seriously injured when the helicopter went down. The pilot reportedly had a medical emergency and passed out. The FAA and NTSB are still investigating that crash. Now, just moments ago, our very own Lisa Kubota spoke to a witness, and here's what she had to say and what she recalled.
I heard a big loud bang, and a few seconds later, I looked out in the backyard and saw a helicopter fall, and it was really small because I thought it was only the tail part of the helicopter, but when I walked out later to check it out, it looked like maybe a 1- or 2-man helicopter thing. It was tiny, time I got out there, the neighbors just started putting out the fire with their water hoses. So, and then luckily there was a ambulance that was in the area, and they were there immediately, like within seconds.
What was that bang that you heard? Like some kind of problem with the aircraft while it was still aloft?
I don't know. I guess that's what it sounded like.
And how long after you heard that did you, so you looked out and immediately you saw it fall, or how long between the sound and you
I would have to guess a few seconds, maybe 10, 15 seconds, until I actually, it just caught the side of my eye, because, you know, my desk is right next to the window.
All right, since that interview, Lisa has been out gathering more information and speaking to other witnesses, and she joins us now from the scene. Lisa, I believe we have her signal up right now. Lisa, what's going on?
We're coming to you live from near Olomana Street and Oneava Street. We just saw an ambulance leave. You can see police have put up this yellow tape trying to keep some of the crowds back. Joining me now, we have Tehani Alo. She sort of heard what was happening, and I was going to bring her in here now. And Tehani, where were you and what did you hear?
I currently live on Olomana Street. We're actually getting ready, loading up our van for an event, and we just saw it just start to spin out, slowly come down, and we could hear it sounded like hail landing, and there has been several pieces on the ground that they have been picking up already. But the neighbors, thank God, they were able to help and extinguish the fire with their hoses. But at least no one else got hit.
Did you hear any boom or any type of sounds, or was it just the...
The boom came further down from that side. Then that's when it started to spin out of control, come down over here.
So you ran out to see what was happening, what's going through your mind. I'm sure other people are rushing out as well.
Oh, yes. I just want to make sure that I could do whatever I could do to help someone if they needed help. That's the main thing.
And basically the wreckage is right on the front side of the helicopter, of the fire truck is what you're saying?
Yes. It landed partially, the top one of the propellers went into a parked vehicle. Thank God no one was inside. But nothing else was hit or injured. Only the road.
And you've seen all of these emergency vehicles come down. I understand it was telephone wires that also came down. So people were just rushing out to try to help or pull people out of the aircraft, but it was just burning it by that point?
Yes, it was fully engulfed. Fully engulfed.
Tehani Alo, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. I also want to bring in one other gentleman over here. Mike, if you wouldn't mind stepping over. Mike, one moment, please, if you wouldn't mind. You said you were driving when all of this happened. This is Mike Cunningham. What did you hear and what did you see?
Well, there was another car in front of me that was a distance of maybe 50 feet. I saw the wires shaking up on the tree there, and right after that the wires broke, and a aircraft, I assume was a helicopter, just came crashing through the trees and into the roadway. Crashed, and I thought first it might have been already on fire when it came through, but I think it might have been the sparks from the wires that I was seeing. But as soon as it hit the ground, it was already on fire, and it was burning pretty ferociously, so that both myself and the other truck started to back away from it because we thought it's probably going to explode. And by that time, there were people already running out to try to see if there's anybody in the aircraft, but it didn't see. It was burning too badly for anyone to get close to it. And at this point, I don't know if there were people in it or what the degree of injuries were. But it crashed very hard. It came down, nose first, and I don't see how anybody could have walked away from it.
And how long did it take for emergency vehicles to start to arrive? I understand people were coming out with their garden hoses.
Oh, immediately. There were people already trying to turn the traffic around because the fire engines and emergency services were already on the way within a couple of minutes. And we were just trying to get out of the way so the traffic could get them in there, because traffic was backing up behind us, plus others were turning around trying to get back the way they came, and the road was blocked in both directions. So we're just trying to open it up so that the emergency vehicles could get in.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
He is putting together a police statement right now as investigators try to comb through all of this and find out what happened. We did have some debris that they picked up earlier. We saw police coming by with bags and picking up, we saw a headset, cell phones, sunglasses, and other items. We also spoke to someone who was at the racket club. They said that they heard a loud boom and then the helicopter, almost like a blade falling, and just sort of seemed to stop and then fall, and then pieces of glass and debris were also raining down on them. I did call No Victor. The company said that they would take my name and number and someone would get back to me. We are waiting for an update to find out what happened. That is the very latest from Kailua. Back to you in the studio.
Lisa, any indication as to how many first responders are out there at the scene?
We did see an ambulance leave. There are fire trucks down here as well, but basically this whole area, they've blocked it off in so many vantage points, so many intersections. So we've been driving around trying to find a way to get closest to the scene. So it's kind of hard to tell because there's a command center set up at a park. Also, we have not been there yet. So there are emergency crews at a variety of spots right now.
Yeah, obviously very congested, but thank you, Lisa. Thank you. All right, right now let's get a little more perspective as to what's going on out there with Guy Hagi.
Well, Steve, you can tell by the video earlier that it was very wet in Kailua, and all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but it has since dried up. Now, in that area, just about that time of the crash, there was a cell that moved through. There it is right there. Started about 8 o'clock and lingered till about 9:30, and that's when the rain was coming down the hardest. Now, we can't say for sure if it attributed to what happened or if it helped the crash, or if it played any part in the crash, but things have dried up since. There's more rain on the way. So you can see, notice the timeline, about 8:30, heavy rain moved through quickly to about 10:30, then things are starting to dry up. Now, was wind a factor? That's hard to say, but also that video of the scene immediately after the crash shows the trees really not moving at all, and the winds have been rather light in that area all morning long. So at this point, we know that it was wet during the crash and that the winds were light. Steve, back to you.
All right, thanks, Guy. The FAA has released additional preliminary information moments ago. We're told the helicopter was a 4-seat Robinson R-44. 3 people were on board. 2 FAA safety inspectors are en route to the crash site. The FAA and NTSB will investigate, and NTSB is the lead agency. This photo right here was taken from our photographer, Jared Apilado, who is also at the scene right now. It appears to be some debris from the crash that fell just a few yards away from the main crash site. Earlier this month, you may recall, a helicopter went down near Sacred Falls. A preliminary report from the NTSB blamed engine failure. The Paradise Helicopters aircraft was contracted by the state's land department. The helicopter crashed into trees before it hit the ground. All 4 people on board survived. Here's Lacey Denise.
Mahalo, Steve. 745 Oneava Street. That is where officials tell us the crash exactly happened. This is right in between Kalolina and Kalama Streets, right next to the Kailua Racket Club. Police have since shut down Oneava completely between the start at Mokapu Boulevard to Ku'ulei Road. And you saw just moments ago in Lisa Kubota's live shot, a very busy and active area. So police are asking drivers to avoid Oneava, move on up toward Kalaheo Avenue, or below that, use Kapa'a Quarry Road. Again, the entire stretch of Oneava is shut down. So if you're trying to get into Kailua town, avoid that area. Use those alternate routes, those surface streets, whether it's Kalaheo Avenue or Kapa'a Quarry Road. Let's send things back over to Steve.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Lacey. Let's continue our team coverage right now. I believe we have Allison Blair up, right? Allison, what's going on?
Good morning, Steve. We're on Kalolilo Street near Oneava Drive, and this house was at the scene of the accident. We spoke with the resident who lived here, and they're actually on vacation visiting from Virginia. They say that the fuel tank of this helicopter came crashing down and actually hit the front of their rental vehicle. They said they picked up the vehicle about an hour ago. They were getting ready to go to the botanical garden, and they heard a loud noise, came outside, and you could see, we can just step kind of, you could see over there that the front of the vehicle is gone. Very, very little left, a lot of damage. They're thankful that they weren't outside, and if you pan over to the other side, you could see what they say is the fuel tank of the helicopter. We haven't been able to get up to the scene of the crash yet this morning. We stopped here first because this is what we saw. We're going to go ahead and head to one of the staging areas everyone here in the house, no one was injured, just car damage. I'm told the rental car company is headed out here to see for themselves. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Allison, have those people talked to authorities yet?
I'm not sure. I know that they have spoken to the rental car company. I'm not sure if they've actually spoken with authorities.
Okay, no one was injured though, right?
No, no one was injured at this particular scene. They were getting ready to leave the house to go to the botanical gardens. They said they heard what sounded like a loud clap of thunder and came outside, and this is what they saw.
Yeah. It's just incredible considering where they were that nobody else was seriously hurt or worse, but we'll continue to cover this. Thank you, Allison. Okay, so again, to recap, 3 people have died in a helicopter crash. This is along Oneava Street on the Kalaheo High School end of the road. The FAA says it was a 4-seat Robinson R-44 helicopter. We have confirmed that it was operated by Novictor Helicopters and it crashed around 9 a.m. Officials believe only 3 people were on board. The FAA and NTSB are investigating. First responders are on the scene right now, and so are a couple of our crews. We will continue to follow this breaking news throughout the day. Look for updates online and on our Hawaii News Now app. We'll see you later.